Hello everyone, and today today I'm doing 2 episodes of last week's episode of Hannibal here, and now of course I'm doing this week's review of this review of this week's episode of Hannibal. And basically, I'm just gonna be off here. This is basically the story. This one is about the offer of the riches from Massenberger in this season. Threatens to put the Inspector Pazzi offers request for redemption, and also notice that. But it's also with it has about mostly Jack Crawford, and Graham is paired up with this woman who are basically setting off to go find Hannibal. With that last episode that I talked about, it was basically about establishing about the motivation and the main move to go and get Hannibal. This is basically the first act of that, and I liked how it goes in this type of angle. As always, I love the way it's well done. It's very well focused, and the editing, the directing, the writing is all just exceptional. It's very consistent with that. And I love how it does play with this factor of cat and mouse, but you don't know who is who is the cat in this situation, who's the mouse. You don't know who will betray you. You don't know who you can really trust. Like the girl Hannibal's paired up with to go find Hannibal because she knows where Hannibal is, and she's like, yeah, I know. Like at some point in this episode, she's like, yeah, I know. And they're in the back of a train. She's like, yeah, Hannibal. Basically pushes him over. I'm like, yeah, apparently he can do that to a 200-pound adult human being. I don't know. I can't really buy that, but she did it. Oh well, and he falls off, lands on train tracks. I don't know how, but it's just ridiculous. But apparently he's waking up by that friggin' moose dream thing that he always has, and that freaked me out. I'm like, whoa, is that a bear? No, it wasn't. It was just this weird hallucination of that deer or moose that you often see in the second season, and I like that. Like the inspector is basically ordering the main bounty of Hannibal, and how Hannibal is trying to avoid confrontation with the others. Is once he meets up with the inspector, he ends up brutally killing him, which is very great. If you watch this episode, it's done very, very well, and it's done very much in the conventional way of how almost of it looking like a suicide in a way, but it isn't because he's tied up and his mouth is covered by duct tape. It's very weird, and once that happens, basically he is Hannibal just sees the person's body hanging. He's like, well done, Ivan. Yes. And then this he's at the very bottom of the area. He's like, Graham. Jack Crawford, once again played by Lawrence Fishburne, and he's just like, I'm gonna go get you, Hannibal, and Hannibal's just I love how smart and confident. This episode really does show how confident and brilliant, how brilliant he really is. He's like, you come to find me, Professor Crawford. I know you want to get me and kill me, beat the crap out of me, but I will ultimately win. No matter what. There's a sense that he's like, yes, go ahead, do what you want to do. No matter what, you won't get as good as me. There's a sense of intelligence. There's a great sense of great tension with his own intelligence there, and I love that. I really do love that. And he's just like, go on, Hannibal. Come at me. And he kind of just bite him in the ass because Jack Crawford just beats the crap out of him. He beats him up insanely. And I'm just like, oh my god, do I love this. This is incredible. The way it's done is so good. And I'm just it kind of shows how too cocky. It's how cocky Hannibal really gets. It's just come on, I know you want to. It's I know you can't do this. But it's like, he really can, and he beats the shit out of him. And it's like, he pushes him out the window where Hannibal hanged the other person. He's like, pushes Hannibal out, and Hannibal's just like, hanging on his hanging corpse. This is again very disturbing how I'm describing this, and just like hangs off for dear life at the bottom, and he's just like, okay, can't hold on for much longer. He's like, alright, and he basically runs off, and I forgot what happens next, but that's basically this episode in a nutshell. It's basically the main it's like the very first step of their way to capture Hannibal. It's like it's like the beginning of the end of Hannibal's run. And I just love that angle that it's going for, that very grotesque, that very gritty, truly dark approach that it has as always. And the way it's shot, the way it's edited, the way it's written, is just exceptional as always, and I highly love the show for it. It just keeps it consistent. Consistent. God damn, the show is freaking brilliant. I could watch the show endlessly, and it's like a brilliant cat and mouse game. And you just there's points there's literally points where you're just like, I don't know who's cat and mouse again. It's just like, I know we're going after Hannibal, but is it really like that? Is Hannibal wanting to get caught, or is it a trap, or it really plays with your head? And I'm just like, brilliant. I just love that angle that goes for it, and I truly critically applaud the film. Not the film, the TV show for doing that. It's that consistency, like I said in my season 1 and season 2 review of the show and other episodes, is that it's fucking consistent, and I just love how consistently great it is. And yet, while being consistent, it still improves on the way it goes and the way it feels, and it just continues to improve every episode. And I just like, every episode to me is like, it's better than the last. Even though I will say, as far as it goes, I think the third episode, not from last week's episode, but the week before, the third episode is my favorite of the season, where I just think the angle it took, it was so clever. But aside from that, Hannibal season 3, episode 5, Contorno, I think it's brilliant as always, and thank you for watching, everyone. As always, I give this episode and episode 4 2 big thumbs up as always. Till then, everyone, I'm Jack. Still stay tuned for more videos to come as always. Till then.